Hi, it's me from the editing room. If you're about to watch this video, I just want to prepare you for the sheer amount of times that I say the word like. I don't know why I was doing it so much when filming this, but you can play a new drinking game while watching this video. You're probably going to be blacked out. Take a shot every time I say like, you're going to be blacked out. I'm really sorry that I say like so much. It's so annoying. I try to cut a lot of them out, but some of them I was just talking too fast and I couldn't quite cut them out. So you're just going to have to deal with how many times I say like. I will work on that. Thanks. Enjoy the video. Hey, what's up? It's Alex Gray back with another video. Today I wanted to make a video about the time I went skydiving. A lot of people in my personal life already know about this, so this won't be super new information, but for people who don't know me, or even for those who do know me but don't keep up with me online, may not know about it. And I wanted to talk about just the whole experience, what led me to do it, how I felt in the moment, and then what kind of perspective I gained afterwards. So skydiving was something I never personally considered I wanted to do. I was like, fuck that, that's so scary. Who the fuck would want to do that? Heights are awful. And at some point in the last I want to say 5 years, I developed this fear of airplanes, this just debilitating fear of flying. And I don't really know why. I think what it boiled down to for me was the lack of control that I had in the situation, which some people can handle, but personally that was super hard for me. So I think that was the reason I was so scared. But I just held on to this debilitating fear, and I would go to the airport and just in tears, full anxiety attack, before getting on the plane, the whole flight I'd be shaking, and it would just be a whole situation. It was really bad. So that's one thing. That isn't the whole reason that I went skydiving. It wasn't I'm scared of planes, I'm gonna go jump out of one. The deciding factor for me to do it was when I met with my therapist, because I was going through a super rough breakup. It had me on my ass, and something she had suggested to me was to make sort of a bucket list, but of stuff I wanted to do by myself, because I'm the kind of person that I like to do things with people, and especially with boyfriends and everything. I love to go do stuff with them, which is nice in the moment, but then I have all these memories with them, and sometimes it's hard to look back on the fun memory when they were a part of it. Not all memories I don't feel negatively about. There's good memories regardless. Enjoy it, smile because it happened, or whatever that stupid saying is. It sounds stupid, but it just sounds dorky because so many people use it. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. That's what it is. But we were talking and she's like, do you have anything you could put on that bucket list? And I kind of was just looking at her I don't know. So the first thing I'm pretty sure she said, she was like, what about skydiving? And I kind of was I don't know, actually. I never really thought about it. And she was like, well, that's kind of a more extreme thing to put on your list. And we kind of giggled about it. And then she said some other stuff. I don't really remember what now. But after that, I was kind of maybe I should. So after that conversation with her, I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it. And I was like, is this something I really want to do, or am I just feeling kind of impulsive because I'm just unstable and whatever? But pretty soon after that conversation with her, I just went ahead and booked it, because if I didn't book it, it would just stay a thought in my head. But if I went ahead and booked it, then it was something I had to do, because I would feel kind of a little bitch for canceling. I didn't want to pussy out. So I was I'm just gonna make myself book it, because if I don't make myself book it, I'm never gonna do it, or it's just gonna be maybe I'll try, some other time. And I think the season was ending soon-ish. I don't know what their particular skydiving season is. If anyone's wondering, I googled it, and skydiving season goes from roughly April to October. But I was it's a now or never kind of thing. So I booked it, and I didn't tell anyone at first. I told my best friend, because she lives closer to the skydiving place, closer than I do anyway. We were already gonna hang out, so it kind of just worked out perfectly. So I told her, because I was hey, I'm gonna do this thing, and I'm gonna go skydiving. And I don't remember what she said now, but she thought I was crazy. She was like, what the fuck? And I'm I know, but cool, right? She was really the only one that knew. And then as it got closer, I told my brother. So I was well, just in case something happens, this is what I'm doing. I'm going skydiving, so just so you know. I didn't tell my dad, because I didn't want him to worry. And granted, he's he's skydived before, and he scuba dives and does all other cool shit. So I mean, it's not he would have been oh my god, don't do it, blah, blah, blah. But I was I don't want to tell other people. I want to be sure about my decision. I didn't really spend a lot of time worrying about it, surprisingly, because I was so scared of planes. I'm so frightened, you think I would have all this anxiety, but really I just like didn't. I was like, well, that's just something I have to do, like something that's coming up. It was really crazy. On the drive down there to meet up with Allie, this song came on my shuffle. I'm pretty sure the title of the song is Live Like You Were Dying by Tim McGraw. And if you don't know that song, there's like a specific line about like going skydiving, and the whole song's about like, what would you do with your life if like you knew it was about to be over, like live like you were dying. And I kind of got chills. So it was one of those moments I felt good about it. Like it felt like the right thing to be doing. And I was like, meant to be going this day and, all that, whatever. Nothing super eventful happens until, we get there, and still I don't feel very nervous. It's kind of just like, it's almost funny because I'm like, this is something I'm doing today. Like I'm just going to go skydiving. We get there and they have me watch like a little training video. Then the video's over and then they like harness me up and the whole get up. And it's like we're walking to the plane, and it's so funny because I just didn't know how I'd react. And the guy even asked me, are you scared? And I was just like, I don't know. Like, and in my head I thought I might like cry or get like really like emotional about it, because on regular commercial flights I would bawl my eyes out and just be a mess. So I'm like, truthfully, I don't know if I'm gonna cry or what, but I was like, that's not gonna deter me. Like if I start crying, like we're still doing it. Like, don't worry. I just want to forewarn you. But I don't know. I got on the plane and it kind of just, all of that fear and anxiety, it just like, it melted away from me, which was so weird because I hadn't felt like that before. And we were just flying up. It kind of felt really serene, and I was just very much at peace with whatever was going to happen next, whether I made it to the ground or not. I don't really remember how long it took to like do our climb and then get to the right area. I was just kind of relaxing, and in between they'd ask me like how I'm doing, and then I think they told me a couple times just like what I needed to do once the door opened and like how I needed to move my body. And then, the next thing I know, that door opens up and it is immediately freezing. Something I really remember is that like coldness on my face, and that made it really real. I'm like, oh, like we're going. And it's kind of nice to be strapped to someone else because they're going to be the ones to just fling you both out. Like it's not up to me whether I jump out or not, it's up to someone else. So like no matter what, like I am coming out of that plane. That cold air rush was crazy. And then the next thing I know, we're tumbling out of the airplane, because I don't even remember if he did a countdown or if he said we're going. Like I just remember we did like a little somersault out of the plane and then we were free falling. I can't even really I can't explain really any of that feeling to you or what it's like unless you actually did it, because there's just nothing that quite compares to that experience. And then before I knew it, he had opened the parachute, and that was like when it was like weird, not in a bad way, but I felt kind of like a sim. Like I felt like it was like fake life in front of me. I was like, am I really just up in like the sky right now? Which is like so stupid to say, but like truly like it felt fake. But like I said, it was a beautiful day that day. I was just really taking in like the view and just the fact I'm like, wow, like I'm doing it. Like that's like fucking crazy that I did that. And we're floating in the sky, and he has me do the little, I don't know what they're called, but like it helps you like turn. So he had me do some turns, but it fucking was painful because I was wearing like leggings, and they recommend you wear like just long sleeve and long pants. And the harness was so fucking painful because it was cutting in like my bikini area. So anytime we'd turn, all the pressure would go on that one side or the other. So it was fucking painful. And I'm pretty sure I had like a bruise or like it was sore for a couple days afterward. And he was like so excited to like have me turn, but I'm getting dizzy, but like I was just in so much pain. I didn't want to like keep turning because it hurt. It hurt really bad. And then before I knew it, we were landing, which that was probably the scariest part, honestly, because like they tell you like you have to have your feet up. Like it's so important that you get in the correct position for landing. You could have like, you could break your legs. And I was like, that would be the worst outcome, because I made it. I jumped out like alive and the parachute worked. I don't want to break my fucking legs. But luckily we made it on the ground perfectly fine. And in the video, like, he asked me how I felt, and like, I feel like I don't seem like as excited or like, I don't know, like, but there was just a lot going on in my head. But mostly I just couldn't believe like I did that. I felt this big rush on the inside. I was just like, it was just such a thrill. It was so much fun, and I was just so glad I did it. And Allie's like cheering me on, but she's also like, what the fuck? Like that was crazy. Like you like did that. And I'm like, dude, I know, it was awesome, right? And then before I knew it, we were out of there, and I was just like, it changed my life, which is so goofy, I feel like to say, like just like corny maybe, but It really changed my perspective. Things just don't matter as much as they did. I certainly feel like I can do anything that I put my mind to. And then afterwards, I was not afraid of flying anymore, obviously. Kind of just stuck with the mindset of like, well, whatever happens, happens, and just that's the way the cookie crumbles. And I have taken a few flights since then, and it was bizarre. Like, I didn't have this anxiety in my chest. I didn't sob my eyes out. It was fine. And of many exciting things, that was one of the top most exciting things, really, was to just be over that fear. So I would say if you're thinking about doing it, even at all, even if it's a joke, because that's how I took it at first, even if it's a joke, honestly, just go do it. Sign yourself up, because then you got to do it, because then you'll feel bad if you back out. So I think, if it's something you can deal with, because obviously some people have much bigger fears and more anxieties than I do. So it was easier for me to go do it. But for some people, it may not be that easy, and I recognize that. But for the average Joe out there, I think you should go do it. You absolutely should, because it's really cool to tell people you went skydiving. I don't know. It's just nice to have that experience under your belt. Not a lot of people do it, and it really changes your perspective, and I think that's important, because in life we need certain things to happen to change our perspectives, and this was certainly something that was really important for my growth, and I will never forget it, and I'll never forget the lessons that I learned from it. If anyone's interested, I'm gonna put in clips of the place that I went to specifically, and I'm gonna put prices in and other info, just so if anyone in my area where I'm from is interested, or anyone nearby is interested, then you know the cost and you know more about it. And I think that's it for this video. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like me, if you've liked my first couple videos, please like and subscribe for more content in the future. I love you all very much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Burn smokes in the sky. Woo! Yeah. Woo! Skydive St. Louis. One of us.